everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, we're talking about the next evolution of finance. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream where members only that can be in the chat room. That's what we do on Wednesday nights with the icons next to their names. They're the only ones. Everybody else you can watch and you can partake and listen and join us on a Friday or Wednesday or Monday night as well. But let's get into creating wealth in a new economy. Do you know what that new economy is going to be? NVIDIA is talking about all-time record profits and earnings because of their artificial intelligence technology. Hint, hint. Well, let's talk about this and a whole bunch more, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to have to learn a little bit more about AI. And again, welcome. And again, this is the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream where members only can be in the chat room. Stop struggling now. Gear, check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. Right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, I must apologize for being late, but I finally found out what the culprit was for our abrupt ending where I had to switch to my iPhone on Monday's live stream. So we'll get into that in a second. But before that, please make sure you share the video because there are people out here who are working their tails off, not realizing in order to stay up with the new economy that's going to be coming out, you're going to have to learn more. We're already inundated with all type of information, but it's going to keep going because you're going to have to learn about artificial intelligence. And that also means you might still have to learn a little bit more about crypto because when the United States government decides to go digital using so-called coins, even though they're already digital, now that presents a new, problem for citizens is what I'm calling it, because that means all of your transactions could be tracked. Now, before I get into it any further for tonight, if you can't get in the chat room, I'll say it again. Only members with the icon can be in Wednesday night chat room, or members of the channel in other areas. They're the only ones that can be in the live stream chat. Everybody else you can watch. And again, Monday and Friday, when we have our live streams or any other live stream, you can always be in the chat room. That's one of the perks of being a member. And also members can always join me on the screen if they want to discuss something as well. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to. You can always cut off your camera and an emoji will be put in your place. They'll just hear your voice. So once again, let's get into some love for the evening. Happy belated birthday to our own Auntie Val, Professor Auntie Val in these parts. And let's just start it off in the chat room. There's something called Beachfront Java, which is a coffee company with premium blend beans, drip ground, fine ground, and you get 10% off after your first order, but you got to start using the promo code SSN Lifestyle. It's in the chat room, so you can see it there. And it's our own Professor Auntie Val. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. I know you're here because I saw it already. Thank you so much for being in the house. So we got to go show some love. Here we go. Professor Auntie Val says, good evening, fam. She's showing the heart. She's showing the strength. And of course, that Beachfront Java made it after all. Yes, show must go on. And she has the icon next to her name. Jawway J is also in the house. welcome to the Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with the icon next to his name as well. He brings his tagline this evening. Hello, SSN Nation. Hope everyone is doing well. Received notification and saw the trailer. Thank you for starting that off, Jaway J. Here we go. I believe the next evolution of finance is going to be digitalization. And I believe you are correct. That is exactly what's going to happen. These guys are going to go full bore once they figure out there's no, well, they're trying to stop all the loopholes, which I believe will be impossible. We will talk about this. I have not fully vetted everything and looked at everything. What else is going to happen? I think you're on the right track, Jaway J. That's what we're going to be talking about here shortly. And again, Beachfront Java, premium blend from Africa, the beans I'm referring to, from Indonesia, from Peru, from Honduras, some of the best coffee beans in the world. And also, again, free shipping if you order in the United States. And she has several different blends with notes of caramel and chocolate and cinnamon, all different types of coffee. So why not order from our own Professor Auntie Val? SSN Lifestyle, that is the promo code. It's in the chat room. Scroll through it, you'll see. And then after your first order, you'll get 10% off. It's that simple. All right, Jaway J, we got you down for the digitalization. And let's go. Let me see. I got a lot of information down here to scroll through. Victor Marrero, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with the icon next to his name. And he brings his tagline this evening. The new retiree is upcoming this year. Hello, all. Let's do this. And that's what we do here, ladies and gentlemen. Prepare you for the future because you know it's coming. And unfortunately, it's in tons of an elephant coming down the path. You may be getting trampled, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't start making preparations. Now, I'm going to start off a little bit of preparation for you. So let's just get things kind of straight. United States, China, our European allies, probably Australia as well, and a few other countries, they will be going with this digital economy. That's for starters. Why are they going to do this? Well, I do not think highly of governments other than the fact one government like the United States is one of the rare governments that does allow, but there's systemic rules in place that actually kind of like hold you down a little bit. So let me explain, because nobody's going to be a victim in the United States in reality, but when it comes to financials. But here it is. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. If I'm born and my parents are well off, they can get me or my grades, or I can get into a better school or private schools, and I get to mix and mingle with other people of influence with their kids. And then we all grow up because we've known each other 6, 7, 8 years because we went to this private school when we're under 18. Then we went to some of the same colleges. So we have like a 10 to 15 year in some cases relationship. And you know the senator's kids, you know the CEO's kids, and you know the CEO and senators and all the people from around the world that go to these private schools and institutions. And you also know that they have a little bit more disposable income usually. So you can say, I'm going to start something, and who wants to join in? And they might chip in, 100,000, 200,000 or more. That gives you a little leg up. Now, the other person, like us here, the OCs, ordinary citizens, we might have it a different way. We might have to do it through sports, maybe to get a scholarship to go to college, or we might have to get a trade, or hey, our parents aren't well off with disposable income that they can 1,000, 200,000, whatever the case may be. So you have to earn it a little bit differently. You don't get to call up the dean and say, hey, I went, you're good, you're talking about, right? Oh, okay. We don't have that. So we have to go, well, maybe I don't have the best of grades and circumstances, so I will not be joining people in Harvard or Stanford or Yale or whatever. So we go to an ordinary school. So again, school does matter, because when you have a degree, they go, what school did you go to? If you say Harvard, that's pretty good. If you say any of the Ivy League schools, that's pretty good. Most people know Stanford, USC, that's pretty good, right? That gets doors kicked in a little bit more. But because we live in America, you can graduate and still get a great job. So that's one of the tricks of the trade about America. You get to rise from the $5. That doesn't mean I'm dying with $5, like in a lot of countries, right? Whatever. Here's one way you can rein in your society, I feel, is by digitalization. Just what Yahweh J is saying, just like the CBDC, the ISO 20022. This, I believe, is intended to do what China has already done to its citizens, tracking your every movement. That's right, with facial recognition, they have the best in the world, and they're tracking your bank account. Therefore, they're making payments for you to the government when they want to, and they also know what you're sending out and what you're bringing in at almost all times. That is scary. So what are we going to do about it? Well, ladies and gentlemen, you already know we've already done the offshore investing, whether it's, I don't care, Philippines, Thailand, Belize, Costa Rica, Colombia, I don't care, Brazil, doesn't matter, Greece, I don't care, India, Caribbean islands. But all I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, is you always want options. Those options might mean start thinking about offshore businesses. You know, like the big boys, like Apple, right? Like Microsoft, like Amazon, like all Wi-Fi is acting up. So hopefully it's not breaking up as much as it's breaking up for me, but I think it is. So there's not much I can do about it, unfortunately. But nonetheless, let me know what you guys are thinking about this new evolution of finance that's coming. Are you going to be prepared? You have a learning curve. That's how they all leave us behind, generally, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know. You can talk real estate. That's easy, right? Everybody can buy real estate one way or another. But how many people actually want to buy real estate and not just live in the real estate? They want to actually become landlords, because it is a headache. If you don't have a property manager, and sometimes you have a property manager, it's a headache. Like I had property managers before, it was a headache because I had so many units. And the headache came from them. They have a dishwasher issue. It's going to cost more than $250. I think I had a $250. Anything less, it was easily. I was like, well, buy a new one. I was like, this is crazy. Then a week later, Eric, there's a fire at one of your condos. What do you mean? Fire? Yes, somebody burned up the cabinets. Oh my God. Then it was, oh, the person is on Section 8, but they didn't pay their portion. And I'm like, it just got to be so crazy. So I was like, okay, I can't deal with this no more. So all I'm going to say is you're going to have to figure out your own businesses. You're going to have to figure out what you're going to be good at. And you're going to have to figure it out soon, ladies and gentlemen, because if you're not retiring like Victor Marrero anytime soon, then you have a long lifetime. 20-year increments is what I call a lifetime. In case you're new here, Brian P's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. He has the icon naturally next to his name because it's members only that can be in the chat room. He brings his tagline. Hello, Eric. I hope all is well with you. Yes, it is. Hopefully all is well with you, Brian P. Hello, SSN family. The family says, hell yeah. Way to be in the house tonight, Brian P. We're talking about new evolution of finance. What do you think it's going to be? Creating wealth in a new economy. Well, like I said, anytime there's a shift, anytime the big boys all talk about one thing, you know it's going down. What they're talking about, artificial intelligence, right? All the millionaires, all the billionaires, all the hedge funds, now NVIDIA has these earnings off the charts. This is where the money's going down this rabbit hole. And it's going to be very, very interesting. How can you take advantage of it? Those who are able to take advantage of it are going to be the next millionaires. There's going to be many different ways that somebody can think up ways for it to work for you. But first, don't you have to understand it? I don't. Now I'm going to have to learn about AI. This is incredible. Just so the big boys don't leave me behind. I got to at least know something so I can still stay relevant with them, still be able to make financial moves because they're trying to lock down your financial moves. So that's why I'm telling you, you have to start thinking offshore, have to start thinking onshore. You have to start expanding your learning curves and lessons. So that's one of the ways. That's the message I want to give tonight. Creating wealth in the new economy is going to be a lot harder if you don't know what to do. Think about it. What's going to happen in about 10 years? If you have EV vehicles starting, let's say 2025, and hardly any combustible engines are being made. All right. In about 10 years' time after that, you tell somebody, hey, man, I have a ICE vehicle. And they're going to be like, I'm sorry, I never worked on an ICE vehicle. You better find a mechanic. So a mechanic in 2035 with an ICE vehicle, he's going to be making out like a bandit. Hardly anybody's going to know about ICE vehicles. Older guys will, but they're going to be dying off. So as they die off, where are you going to get the training from if you didn't train and learn how to fix them, right? So there's certain things that are going to come up that's inevitable when we change over into this electric society. But I would be more happy, I should say, if somebody figured out how to actually create electricity out of air or some other method that we don't have to burn down the planet. That would be a good thing. So somebody hurry up and get it done. There's trillions waiting for you. Auntie Val says it's not just digitalization, but tokenization as well. That's the two things that's happening. Exactly. Very well said. The crypto market is a testing ground. Exactly what's happening right now. I agree with the 100%. She's tied the two together, which is where we have to go because that's exactly what's happening. That's why we had to mention the ISO 20,022. We're going to have to deal with all of it. I am not mad at any tokenization, quite frankly, because there's so much stuff going on right now. I can't even believe people are actually writing up fake deeds, doing fake liens on people's houses, doing foreclosures after the fake stuff. And I'm sitting there like, good God, this is just rapidly moving towards, well, I hate to say it, NFT style tokenization, where you are holding this piece of property. And the only way that I release the property to you is if I release this so-called, let's call it an NFT. That gives you title. So therefore, nobody can take it because it's on the blockchain. You can't come up and write a deed up and fake it and then submit it to the recorder's office. You can't do a fake lien. I mean, so this is only natural that this path is going to be taken. Unfortunately, though, it's about a lot of mumbo jumbo to a lot of people. And it seems like it's a never ending learning curve. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, we're sitting here, SSN Nation, the No Guru Zone. You're going to have to learn yourself. We're going to talk about this much more over the next few years because this is going down. And this is how you get left behind, especially when you are older. If you're under 18 and the world is based on digitalization, tokenization, crypto, somewhat blockchains, those people under 25, that's how they grew up. They're going to be there. That's not even going to be an issue. But when people get older, like if you're 60, 65, 50, 55, all of a sudden they start doing this stuff. You're like, wait, where's my dollar bills at? They go, we don't have dollar bills anymore. Where's my change at? Well, you don't have change anymore. Well, what do I got to do? Well, you have to go on your computer, use your smartphone, and that's how you transfer money to people. It's like, wait, what? You're familiar with apps. So we'll see if they make it friendly. But this is one of the reasons why people haven't been all in on crypto. There's a learning curve. There's only roughly 300 to 350 million people out of 8 billion people on the planet that use crypto or familiar with using crypto. That's like 8 million people short. I mean, that's damn near the whole planet still when you only have basically less than 350 million people. The United States has 350 million people. So are you telling me the whole world, that's all that uses crypto? Therein lies the problem. So governments are going to take advantage because they can. Because I just gave it to you, the numbers they know. 8 billion people don't know about crypto. Right? So that's going to be where their advantage comes from. Big time. Vanessa Comagates in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream where members like her with the icon are the only ones that can be in the chat room. Everybody else, I'm sorry. You can only smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you like what we're talking about. But she brings her tagline. Hey, boss and SSN fam, the seamless genius is here, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. She's in the house. She's coming up with something new that hopefully we're going to be able to talk about soon. The red light. A lot of people are like, red light? Wait a minute. Am I in Amsterdam? What are we talking about? No, we're talking about therapy, ladies and gentlemen. All right. That's what we're talking about. So not tonight, maybe another day, because tonight only members can be in the chat room. We like to talk about it when everybody can be in the chat room so they can learn. All right. Thank you so much for being here once again. Seamless genius. All right. Here we go. Get ready for the holidays. Exactly. Are coming already. Talk about it. September, November, October. And I'm refusing, if they still call it the Columbus Day nonsense, the terrorist, Indigenous Day. I like that better. Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, New Year's, Christmas, all coming in the next 4 months. So get there early. Get in the game early, ladies and gentlemen. Start your business rocking and rolling. What's good, sis, from Professor Auntie Val. And speaking of holidays, make sure you get that beachfront Java, by the way. All right. Order it for your family and friends. Christmas presents. Everybody pretty much drinks coffee, but I got to have my chocolate with my coffee, by the way. Red light specials. Exactly. Exactly. All right. Well, we got two of the new economy that's going to happen, the new evolution. We have the AI, we have the digitalization, we have the tokenization, and then we're going to have the assets from both of those that is going to be under lockdown. Which, here's the funniest thing, that the way I look at it, I'm just going to say this, because here's what's actually, I think, ultimately going to happen. The rich people are getting away with murder, right? The wealthy get away with murder. But if it's tokenized and digitalized, and you can run it on a blockchain, everything they do is going to be trackable. But we know what governments are going to do. They're going to have their own secret hidden ledgers so you can't see it. See, this is what I'm saying. We know how this is going to work out. They're going to have exceptions. And so, therefore, you won't be able to see the government sending money to your favorite wealthy people and vice versa. They're going to have it on their little hidden ledgers or potentially blockchains, their own crypto. Don't worry. You can count on it because you can't level the playing field, because I have news for you, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the news. Here's the dirty little secret. A wealthy person is not smarter than you. I hate to break the news. I'm sorry. All right? They're not. They have advantages that oftentimes you don't have. But if you did, you would be fine. So, how do you get those advantages? You learn, you advance, you be better. You have to talk. You have to mix and mingle. You have to go out of your comfort zone, meet new people. All of that sounds great, but you got to do it, because you don't know everything. I don't know everything. And we all have to learn. As each day goes by, there's more and more information that we're going to need for the future. Our next lifetime is now. All right. Hopefully I'm getting you guys on the move. All right. Exactly. It's who you know. Exactly right. Exactly. That's what gives you advantages. Lots of advantages. And you know, it's very interesting because Vanessa Comegate, she is lucky enough to live in SoCal. She's also lucky enough to mix and mingle with superstars. You can run into people from all walks of life, financial. And if we start talking about financials, we're referring to real estate, we're referring to hedge funds, we're referring to CEOs, we're referring to actors, actresses. Because in SoCal, it never rains. In Southern California, nice 80 degrees, 85 degrees, we can go to the beach. The place where $10 million, $20 million homes is no big deal. I mean, you're going to be walking around and meet people. It just depends on if you guys get along. You get better connections, so to speak. This is why people flock to Hollywood. This is why people flock to New York City. And then soon, that's why a lot of people are flocking to Miami. They're trying to do some revolution down there. All right? And I mean crypto revolution. They're trying to do the damn thing. So all I'm saying is, this is what you have to think about, ladies and gentlemen. Go make it happen. Get your wings. Expand your wings. You're going to need it. All right. Nations will have what they call private ledgers. Exactly. Exactly. Just like right now it's private, right? You don't know who the Federal Reserve, who they're lending money to unless it's announced. You don't know who that repo market and what they're doing when they're giving people these 1% loans for interest only for 15 years. You don't know nothing about that. You find out about it if something happens bad and then it becomes public. But generally, you don't know anything about that. That's what they're going to be doing. And then this way, it's not going to be trackable at all. Because if you don't have access to that ledger, you're not going to know what got moved. And they can report anything they want. So it's a whole different ball game. James Way, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. He too has the icon next to his name. And he brings his tagline, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, folks. He got the notification. That's very nice. That's 3 people. He says, in the summer, the heat is too hot. In the winter, the cold is too frigid. But every day, the rent is too damn high. Yes, it is. James Way, bringing the rent is too damn high, ladies and gentlemen. The cost of living is too damn high. And by the way, I like to ache in the rent is too damn high? Because guess what? You're renting your life every damn day. A lot of people are like, what did he just say? Yes, you're renting your life every damn day. You say you own a house. You say you own a car. The government says, hey, slow your roll. You owe us money. And if you don't pay us money, we get your stuff. That sounds like debt to me. In fact, it doesn't sound like debt. It is debt. Endless servitude to debt is what you have. And they somehow tricked us into thinking we own it. Well, if I own something, that's nice. But generally, you don't keep taxing me for it. That means if you keep taxing me for that item, that means I don't own it. Because if I don't pay for that tax, then you're coming to take it from me. That's a different story. So think about it, ladies and gentlemen. You've been tricked into thinking it's all good. You own a house, you own a car, you own all this stuff, you own a business, but you owe the government money. Now, that's a conundrum. That means you always have to make more money. And I'm going to say this again, in case we get some people watching the replay. You have to understand, the people that work for Yellow Freight, they work there for 20, 30, 40 years. They're looking out for their retirement. They're thinking my pension money is going to be nice, 4, 5, 6 grand a month. How heartbreaking would it be if you worked somewhere for 30 years and then all of a sudden, right when you're getting ready to retire, you find out the company's out of business and they're not going to pay your pension? And you're like, are you serious? In 30 years, I only missed 15 days? What? Are you serious? In these 30 years, I was working 2 shifts sometimes because you said mandatory overtime. And I thought I was helping out the company. Right. You're going to better be thinking. I'm serious, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be fooled out here. He said it, says Professor Auntie Val. That's right, James Way. On the rent is too damn high every day is right, and it's going to get higher. Vanessa Comagate and Auntie Val, Beachfront Java is good. Time to reorder, love. That's right, SSN Lifestyle promo code for everybody that has not ordered yet. When you place your first order at beachfrontjava.com, make sure you put in SSN Lifestyle. So then that way they know on your next order, it's 10% off for life. And anybody in the United States that orders, you get free shipping. So thank you so much for bringing that up. Seamless Genius. Thank you, my love. Use the code, sweetie, SSN Fam. Gets the best price. There we go. That's how we do it. SSN Lifestyle. SSN Fam. All right. That's how we do it here. Showing some love, and show some love for Professor Auntie Val on the Beachfront Java. Now, anybody else want to put in what's the next evolution of finance? Because it's always about the almighty dollar, almighty money play. Don't fool you out here. Don't be confused. Again, I am still shocked. I'm still blown away, even though I know the statistics and I know the stats. I am still blown away that people will work at a job and number one on their list is not money. Maybe it's because it's me, because it blows me away that I would have thought that you live in a capitalist society. I would have thought job, when they come get you and say, hey, do you want to work here after you applied? And they say, well, you know, we can only pay you $50,000. And you're like, but everybody else with the same type of skill set I have is getting paid 70. And people will actually take the 50 because of some of the things that's higher on the list. Because I have some of your former coworkers are here. We have this group kumbaya every Friday where we have hot dogs and hamburgers or pizza or something. We work in teams. I'm just like, Yes, ladies and gentlemen, those descriptions is what I talked about. Those are above money. People are more apt to work where they feel like they're with a group of people that they like. That's higher on the list. Besides money, even though you don't know anybody when you go there, but maybe you do. But nonetheless, I'm like, seriously? I think I can get this. I don't really care about my friends at work. I don't know people when I show up at work, right? I'm just like, this is new relationships. So I ought to get paid the most if I'm going to find new relationships at a workplace. But other people, that's not money is number 4 on the list. That's how crazy this is to me. If somebody else feels differently, they'll say, hey, I'll take less pay because some of the reasons might make sense, right? I would say, hey, if somebody said, hey, I get to work from home, therefore I don't have to have a child care babysitter. See, those type of things start making sense. But when somebody says none of that mattered, all I want to do is I want to feel comfortable. I want to be feeling good because you promised me that I'm going to get a raise or I'm going to get promoted. I'm just like, that's really worth taking less money? I'm just like, I don't get that. But again, this is why creating wealth in the new economy may not be a job. You're going to have to start thinking about this very, very carefully, ladies and gentlemen, because right now, take out $100 bill. If you had $100 bill 20 years ago, just 20, you'd be able to buy a whole lot more than you can buy now. $100 bill fills up, doesn't even fill up a gas, doesn't even fill up a tank of gas in some vehicles. Most vehicles have 10 to 15 gallon tanks. So depending on $3, $4, $5, you're going to have 2 tankfuls for $100. 20 years ago, that wouldn't have happened. You'd have probably spent $35, $40. All right, that's it. Grocery store. $100 now is more like 20, not even 20 items. Less than 20 items. 1 or 2 bags. 20 years ago, you're leaving with like 5 bags, 6 bags. So, what do you think is going to happen in the next 20 years? Another lifetime. You're going to be foolish enough not to think that you better figure out how to get some run into this game of the next evolution of finance. Well, you're here, ladies and gentlemen. You have no excuse. Do we have solutions for it? I don't have a solution for it because guess what? You're going to have to learn. We can talk about it. I can bring it on. We know ISO 20022 is happening. What can we do with it? I don't know. We know AI is going to happen. Are you going to learn more about AI so you can use it to produce extra streams of revenue? You better, because there's going to be a million people ahead of you. It's going to be crowded, similar to what happened in social media. A lot of people, like here on YouTube, for instance, if somebody started 10 years ago, they probably have hundreds of thousands of followers, which means they make money from this. Lots of it. All right. Somebody that starts new, okay, some people catch on, but the majority of people have to earn it the old-fashioned way, produce videos. To get 100,000 videos, now it's almost like over 3,000 videos were made. Sure, people surpass it by having less. Some people have 20 videos up and it could happen. Some have 100, but the average is over 3,000 to get 100,000 subscribers. Are you down to trying to make 3,000 videos? That's pretty serious, right? How many years is that going to take? There's 365 days. So you're going to be dropping videos like a lot of people are doing now, 1, 2, 3, 4 videos a day. Make this your full-time gig so you can try and see if you're going to be successful to get thousands of dollars per month while more and more people are piling in. Remember, when we start talking about real estate, the reason why real estate rises is because there's high demand, or vice versa, what's happened in America. Low quantity of homes available for sale. And even if you have low demand, the fact that there's hardly any homes for sale, that creates a situation where the prices aren't dropping. It's actually happened. Why? Because the trigger, the other side of the fence, hasn't happened yet. The foreclosures, they still have held those up. The interest rate still didn't go as it should have, as higher, even though it's at like 30-year high or whatever. But the fact is, it still should have went higher because it's been a 40-year high on inflation. This is crazy. So anyhow, enough said about that. I'm just getting your mind right, because the next revolution or evolution, you're going to have to learn more. Be prepared. Start scouring about right now so you don't get left behind. This reminds me of when computers came out. Now, fortunately for me, I was always ahead of the curve. I even have coding skills as well. But I had to learn all that. This wasn't anything you can just pop up in 1 month or 2 months. You have to go, especially when you start talking about different languages in coding. It's not simple. This is the same thing that's going to happen right now. When you start doing AI, okay, AI, it can do it itself. But then what's going to happen is you're going to start tweaking. There's going to be people that can tweak it to do things that other people can't do. So therefore, you're going to have to learn a skill set that you may not know or have right now. You might have to be a little more friendly, social media wise, because work at home, work from home, work in a group of people, it might be the Zooms, might be a thing. Because once again, I touched on it earlier, employers, which are a lot of the wealthy people, employ people. How do they get wealthier? Is by keeping wages down. So it's no shock that wages were stagnant over the last 40 years, literally. Right? No, not even. You shouldn't even be thinking that there's a problem with that. Sure, people make 100,000 a year, 150, 200,000, 300,000. But isn't it funny that a lot of people in the tech industry, if you're in San Francisco, it's common for people to earn 140, 150, 200, $250,000. That's why the price of living there, like James Way says, the rent is too damn high. Because of the cost of wages, they know what people make, so they raise the rent. This is exactly what's going to happen if you're just in Main Street, USA. You say, oh, we'll just make minimum wage $15 an hour. Okay. All they're going to do is raise the prices. We'll just do livable wages so everybody makes like $50,000 a year. The employers are going to go, are you smoking crack? We're not going to pay people $50,000 a year. Starting out? You serious? No, we're not going to do that. This ain't the Bay Area. We can't afford it because we have to match their FICA. So you're saying 50,000, but we have to pay more than 50,000 as a business because we have to match their FICA. We have to also have insurance. What are we going to do with medical? Because, there's some presidents that were actually just trying to make everybody have health care. So then that way businesses wouldn't have to carry the burden of health care. That would be nice. America. So all I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, if it was so easy, why wouldn't they just have done the health care? Because that would have unburdened society. Every age would have been fine. Business would have been fine. Nobody would have to worry about getting their health taken care of. Why is it that people are against that? Well, if I got insurance businesses, you're damn right I'm going to be against it. Those powerful, pesky billionaire guys, making you pay for insurance. And then when you need to use your insurance, they say, hold up a second. You know what? I think it was man-made. Mother Nature, it's your fault. We're not going to honor it. Or better yet, I love this one. Well, we're not going to honor it. Bye-bye. We're just going to file bankruptcy and then open up another company under a new name. Keep all of your money, but don't want to pay out. Does this sound familiar, ladies and gentlemen? Because this is happening to Americans. So see all these little loopholes while you're out here busting your ass. There's other people taking advantage. Therefore, you have to get your own things happening so then you can minimize the damage. And that's why you have to learn. Next evolution of finance is going to be learning, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to be left behind. Don't get left behind like all those people that thought the laptop or the desktop or computers were a fad. Don't get left behind with all those people that thought the internet was going to be a fad and you could never sell anything on it. Who would go buy on there? Who would buy products? Remember all that rhetoric? Remember the other rhetoric when Bitcoin came out and people were like, what's that? It's still like, what's that? And now governments, after they figured out how they can minimize the damage, they decided, well, I guess we have to join them because this is serious. Because if this thing actually did go worldwide and we can't block it, we have problems because now we're not going to be able to track any of our citizens' money. We don't know what's going on, so we're going to have to do something. All of this comes into play. And there's a lot of people right now who's going to be left behind on the AI and the crypto situation. And unfortunately, it's going to be a lot of older people. And I would consider 45, 40. There's a lot of people that's going to be like in their 40s that are sitting here like, I don't want to learn this AI. I don't want to know about crypto. I think it's all garbage. I've been listening to Warren Buffett. He's my hero. He's been saying crypto's no good. But what they don't know is he went down to South America to invest money in a crypto bank quietly. We talked about that before. So again, don't believe the hype and don't look up to these wealthy people by them telling you, don't worry about crypto. It's no good. Don't worry about any of this ISO 20022. Don't worry about AI. Don't do any of that. You better learn about all this, ladies and gentlemen. They have their team that's bringing information to them saying, hey, this is what we can do. We can do this. We can do that. We can do this. They get to learn more faster because they have a team of people that can feed them the information. Most of us do not. So that means we have to search and find it. Just like back in the day when I would tell my friends and I'd say, hey, man, I'm going to open up this business. I'm going to go open up this holding company in this business. And they're looking at me like I'm an alien because nobody's taught that generally back in the day. And they'd be like, what's this guy talking about? He sounds alien to us. I don't know what he's saying. What's he mean? LLC. What's he mean? Corporations. What's he mean? Just go down to the Secretary of State and fill out the forms. Because back then it wasn't on the computer. What are you talking about? Protect yourself and getting business insurances and things like this. It was just like a learning curve. So they would always say, I don't know what you mean. I try to give them this learning curves, explaining it, showing them paperwork, everything. It still would be like, nah, I'm going to just do my job. Because you got to remember back then, 20 years, retire, 25 years, retire. It was common. People get out, they have their pension. But over the last 15 years, it's not so much common anymore that you're going to be getting retirement funds from your pension. So that's again came back up around the way. But let's see what else we have to talk about here. Beachfront Java. Let's see what's going on. Thank you, my love. Use the code, sweetie. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I must say, I found out that I might have mentioned this on the preview intro. I found out why the computer shut down on Monday night. My cord, they have a white, a black, and a blue. The white is cut on my power pack that does my computer. It went out. I didn't know that. So I was trying to cut my computer back on. It did come back on, but it wouldn't let me do anything. It just lit up saying Dell. So I was like, damn. I don't know what that is, but I had the phone, right? Well, the reason I was late tonight was because I was supposed to get a new power cord. Unfortunately, welcome to the new age of Amazon and ordering online. Walmart, Target, Best Buy doesn't have the Dell 45 watt charger. I can't believe it. Can't find them anywhere, even at computer stores. So then I said, I know where I'm going. Facebook Marketplace. I go there. The two people that have a potential charger for it, they work during the daytime. But they sent me a message. Yes, I have it. And I'm like, good, I'll come get it. They're like, no, I'm only available after 10 p.m. at night. Only available after 9 p.m. at night. I'm like, are you kidding me? So what did I have to do? We improvise. The show must go on, ladies and gentlemen. This is our little obstacle, right? So I improvise. Well, not really. But once I saw that, then I said, okay, let me try to connect these two wires. We'll run through this live stream tonight. So far, it's upholding pretty good. The battery pack is still good, so I'm going to be on longer than an hour. So, yeah, I know it's a little torture every now and then. But, hey, we're still here, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you smash that like button. And if you like what I'm talking about so far or what's being said in the chat room as well, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. And welcome to the SSN Academy, SSN University, the No Guru Zone. The reason why it's the No Guru Zone, because we don't charge for giving out information and helping people. We don't have e-courses. We don't have e-books. We don't have webinars. We don't have seminars. We don't do any of that. You just have to ask the questions in the chat room because we have a myriad of entrepreneurs, investors, smart-ass people are here in the house. So that's what makes this so great, because you never know who is in the house. People coming in and raiding these retail stores. It's crazy, says Vanessa Kamagate. Hey, you guys already know it's a third world country. You guys just now catching on. Like I've been telling people for 25 years, and everybody's like, Eric, what do you mean, man? Housing prices going up. The economy's good. I'm like, it's smoke and mirrors. You live in a third world country. It's just that nothing has actually happened because they've been able to block it. That's what the Federal Reserve and the government's been able to do. They've been able to lie about numbers. They've been able to do backdoor, create more money out of thin air to devalue our currency. They don't care about you. You're going to be able, sooner or later, there's going to be 70% of the population that's going to be living paycheck to paycheck. We're at 64% right now. 64% of all Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. If things go wiggy in the next 6 months, which it doesn't seem like the stock market is, I wonder why. But if things went wiggy for the ordinary citizens, that's easily going to be 70% of people living paycheck to paycheck. That is a bad trend where only 30% of your population is not living paycheck to paycheck, but everybody else is, which means they're leaning on other resources. That means they need stimulus money. That means they're going to need extra taxpayer type of care. What I mean by that is people may not be able to afford daycare. They might not even be able to afford food on the table, because after you pay your electric, the rent, the mortgage, you have to have a vehicle in most places. Public transportation is freaking 1975 still. No bullet train, no high-speed rails. This is incredible. Infrastructure is tearing down. This is crazy when you really think about it. So what do you have to do? You have to start thinking, maybe I should have that offshore business. Maybe I should have offshore assets. Maybe I should expand my horizons and start learning about AI and crypto. And what I mean by learning about crypto, I should say something, because a lot of people, once you start learning about crypto, you're going to run into all these spaces where people say, hey, you can earn 5% per month. Hey, our product is backed by real world stuff. Like we talk about our Ring of Fire, Miracle Cash, and more. I'm not happy. Debtbox under SEC complaint, which, by the way, Debtbox had a TRO today. Let's go check this out. Let me see what's going on. Oh, hold on. Order granting temporary restraining order. I got to look this up right now because I think it was today. I don't know if there's going to be any. Let's see here. Do we have anything? I have to look this up because they're talking about it behind the MLM. Second box denied until the hearing. If you want the court to issue a 2-hour election, okay, that's not it. Temporary restraining order, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, the temporary restraining order was dropped about a month. Yep, about a month ago, July 23rd, I believe it was. July 28th. Sorry, July 28th. Order granting TRO. The hearing was allegedly today in Utah, and there's nobody reporting on it, which is interesting. So maybe it got extended or something. Wow, this is not good. This is not good. What I mean by that is there's something I'm looking at right here where I saw somebody named Krista Bowman's on a LinkedIn. She's actually doing First Amendment defamation attorney. And she's actually talking about this debt box situation. Okay, nothing has come up. I don't know if they had some sort of resolution today, but all I can say is anytime you're dealing with the government, don't deal with them if there's everything on the books. If you have to deal with the government and you start seeing things like, hey, debt box, we're calling what you have securities. You might feel different if you're debt box. You might say, hey, man, these aren't securities. But then they start saying, well, we're going to deem them securities because you were telling people that you could get a return on your money. Uh-oh. Wait. No, it was based on the fact that we're mining. They bought a license, but we're mining. And that's how they're actually going to make more money. It's not from us giving it to them. It's going to be this money. They're like, then your lawyer taps you and says, you do understand that the book does say, the law does say that you're selling a security. It doesn't have nothing to do with the second part, even though your intentions aren't like a security, but you're claiming you're giving them a return. That could be deemed a security. Do you want to go to trial and find out from a jury of your peers where you might be losing millions or potentially go to jail? Because if there's fraudulent activity, now we have other issues. I'm not saying they did any fraudulent activity, but all I'm saying is you start going down this rabbit hole, you might find yourself in hot water, more hot water than you think. So my point being, if you're dealing with the federal government, you have to start considering, what do I need to make this go away? You might have to strike a deal of some sort, pay a fine, restructure, so then that way you're compliant. But nonetheless, we're having a little problem here. Oh, by the way, for everybody that has debt box, I got to mention this. Allegedly, IX, they said they're going to pay everybody's credits because you have to pay monthly credits for the mining. They said they're going to pay everybody's credit for 2 months. Now, I did not pay because, again, their assets are frozen. Their website still doesn't have the SEC seal on it, though. So I'm going to do something right now. So we're going to try and log in because I wasn't able to log in before. Let's see. But now I still can. So we're going to go in the back office, and I'm going to put it on screen so everybody can see. So here's the funny thing. It's not over till the fat lady sings. And all we really need to know from DebtBox is that's why I want to see what happened with the hearing. If all of their projects were legitimate projects, they may be able to dance around the SEC's claim of securities of some sort. But again, I would say, hey, we need to comply. What do we need to do? They say, yeah, just pay a fine and comply. Make sure you're starting to comply. That's what I would do. If I'm legitimate, that's the first thing I do. And this thing about me talking about I'm going to go to UAE, that's going to have to stop. All right, let's go see rewards. Let's see. Okay, this is where we are for everybody with the XPLR. There's not much we can do here. Sure, we can withdraw it, but that's like a 99% L. Let's see if there's any mining. Yes. Well, maybe not. Let's see what it looks like. All right. Yes, it is mining because I was over there. It was 140,000 about a week ago. So IX Global is paying for the mining for the 2 months. Smart move by them because everybody knows they're under SEC TRO. Knowing everything's being hemmed up, assets froze. So therefore, why would you pay? They knew this. So hopefully that TRO went well today or something. Like I said, they can settle, get this thing handled if they're serious. Yeah, 379 XPLR. It's only worth 21 cents. Last cycle just ended. It was 365. Or shall last cycle. This cycle, 365. Oh, it hasn't ended yet. It's like another hour, I think. So we have 142,157 XPLR tokens, which, hey, there's nothing we can do about it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see if this how far this goes. And now there's a 1, 2, 3. What is that? That's 3 zeros and a 5 and a 4. We were up to 1 cent at one point. Now we're down to, Jesus, that's, I don't even know what that is. A thousandth of a penny. Grow is, all this is down. Debt box, that used to be almost $19, $20 a token price. All of it, of course, is going to take a hit. Now, I don't know if there's going to be any votes in the back office. So we'll just go here and look because, again, there's nothing we can do. Having XPLR was they halved, expired. What? What's this? Oh, yeah. Everybody said keep the current halving schedule of once a year. That was voted on. How nice. Instead of doing it twice a year. Eating that up. All right, let's go here. What's happening? No news. Oh, they blocked the news. Is that what's going down? Looks like the news is bulls are blocked, portfolios blocked. I'm in here blocked now. Oh, it's my computer, maybe. They haven't confiscated the website. Normally that, oh, there we go. It's a delay. All right, so I'm logging out now. But let's see. Yep. Let's go. However, the SEC has been mega shady with crypto. So Exactly. Exactly. SEC claiming they never was mining taking place and the tokens were false. Yes, that's it, Professor Antival. That's why if they get past one thing, they have another. And that's one of the others. They are claiming, the SEC claims they weren't mining. And herein lies the problem because their mining was based on just like similar to what Ethereum does, but it's with Ethereum and with Bitcoin, you actually have miners. What they were doing was it was in a somewhat EGT, I think they named it. It was some sort of electronic mining. That's the weirdest thing. And they even said it in their paperwork. They said, we're doing this electronic mining until we do the debt chain. Then there would be miners on the debt chain, but there is no debt chain, apparently. So therefore, once again, you're going to fall under the SEC or the FTC or somebody's gray area where they're going to go, okay, you were not lying about what you were doing, but the fact of the matter is the definition of mining means you need miners. You're doing a computer simulation and then paying people out of that simulation. That's not mining to us. So again, that's going to be another one of those things where your lawyer's going to tap you on the shoulder and be like, look at this law right here. You might think that what you were doing was above board because you told people that this is what you're doing until you got the debt chain, but you don't have miners on the debt chain. So you really want to go to court with this? You're going to say you're innocent because there's another thing. This is why the messing around with the SEC or federal government is always dicey. They have laws on the books for every damn thing that you're sitting there trying to do legitimate stuff. And then it's like, wait, there's laws on the books for this? You're like, I told people what we were doing. They know what we're doing. They know what's happening. It's not even illegal. Well, we already started a path where we don't think it's a security. So there's one check mark of you're in the court system for that if you try to fight it. Number two, you weren't mining. And we think these are fake tokens. And also we think, let's go with the third one, Professor. They also were thinking the projects weren't projects. They've already put in a complaint. Western Oil was giving off false information to entice so when they were claiming, you guys know, we used to have a video, I might still have it, where they start talking about, hey, there's natural gas here, there's oil here, there's like what was the other thing that was there? I can't even remember. There was a third. And it's very valuable as well. And they're like, this deposit could be worth $1 trillion. And right now, this is going to be pumping out millions of dollars. So what these guys are saying, that stuff was bogus. They're saying that what they were claiming and what was actually happening are two different numbers, two different books, so to speak. And they're also claiming that these projects were bogus, like the XPLR wasn't a thing. I mean, and that's a problem because they were showing, we have video of this. They're showing, hey, this is where the natural gas is. Oh, water was another one. This is where the water is. This is where the gold is, which is the oil. That's damning because if it turns out where none of these, well, not none, but if 4 or 3 or 2 or 1 of these projects were not legitimate, now they have you for another fraud count. Now they have you for taking people's money based on deception. You didn't have any, you weren't trying to do any of the thing you said. That's a problem. And you're going to go down even worse than you. So you're going to have to make a deal. That's all there is to it. There's just no way around it. That's how it has to be. SEC states POW style mining is not a security event like BTC. Yeah, but attack, good or bad, right or wrong, POS or POW, it's all out war. Exactly. It's always going to be a war. It started a war even worse when they said we're going to have the ISO 20022. Because, governments don't like competition. Why do you think, we got to have a war on drugs? But yet we find out the government's making deals with the Iran Contra situation, right? Then we have a war on drugs, but yet we're going to funnel drugs into communities in America, like a la Oakland, California, crack epidemic of the world. FBI said, yeah, why don't we try and get these guys over here and we'll do it with drugs. Then you have the CIA having their operatives run and drop cocaine all in the United States at their little secret airports, talking about a war on drugs. They just try to eliminate the competition. That's all. This is all America's ever done. Eliminate the competition while we do all the illegal stuff that we claim everybody else is doing. Here we are again. They're claiming crypto is evil. Crypto is illegal. They're securities. We got to block them. Meanwhile, they are going to do their own thing with crypto. But what their crypto is, it's all legal. Because when they come out with something and say, hey, we're going to give you a return on your money if you put your money in your JP Morgan crypto wallet, we'll give you 3%. Oh, isn't that a security? Didn't you tell me that was a security before? Hold on a second. I'm just saying. This is crazy. All out war is right. All right. I need to see a referral to DOJ or DOE. SEC cases are civil. There we go. Yeah, they are civil until they're not. See, that's where the problem comes. So you're exactly right. They're doing a SEC with DebtBox right now. But the problem is the DebtBox guys, even in the Utah description, they said things were false. That's when, if you don't come in and play ball, they will do a referral to DOJ and they'll say, look at what these guys were doing over here. Not only selling securities, but now look, what they said they were doing, mining, they weren't mining. What they said about that XPLR, there was never no scanner system. That money that Western Oil said that they made, these guys knew they didn't make it because here's the books. They allegedly checked the books. So now we're tied in with some fraud, and now you took $50 million too. They will refer it if that actually comes up without these guys doing a deal. So I don't see how they survive because they should have to do a deal. I'm thinking the way the government operates, they're going to have to do a deal, and that means shutdown of DebtBox nodes. IX Global, they still get to ride because IX Global was nothing more than the wholesaling of it, selling it for them, but they are getting bit because IX Global and the CEO of IX Global gets to be in the broker business. Along with Travis Flaherty, they're saying, along with about 9 other people, they're sitting there saying you guys were actually promoting this as a broker. So you're operating without a license, which again, civil situation. But it's not civil when they freeze your assets. Your assets are frozen. That's no joke. All right, that's pretty serious. So even if it's still civil, they froze the assets because part of your ill-gotten gains goes back to the people that were defrauded, according to SEC. But at the same time, they're just clearing the streets. That's all. Murky in the water, clearing the streets. So then that way people don't give all their money to places like DebtBox Node. Or in case of Miracle Cash and More exploding, let's say, or any other crypto, because people would give their money in. They know this. At one point, crypto had $1 trillion cap. That trillions of dollars in the past would have been in the stock market or would have been in the real estate market, which means prices would even be higher. Right now, stocks would be higher, homes would cost more, the cost of living would be more because more money would be into the traditional places. People would have bought more gold, silver, all this stuff. So I think we're going to see a referral based on what the DebtBox guys do, because they're going to have, well, I don't know, they might have decent lawyers, but then again, That's how the federal government starves you out. They freeze your assets. Those same assets are bank accounts and things like that. That's what you need to defend yourself. And that's where the problem comes in. Your lawyer says, I need $35,000, $40,000. But if it's an SEC case, I don't know what a lawyer will say. They might say something crazy like 100, 150,000. I wouldn't be shocked because they know the odds of it going on year after year is pretty high. So I would not be shocked if these guys start going 500,000, $1 million up front if you want to fight this. And that's just for starters. And you're going to have some of the best legal minds, but some of the best legal minds, which is Mr. Thompson, he said his piece and he says, I go with this test, the Howey test. He said it never passed the Howey test. So therefore, he said, I didn't advise my clients to actually do this. So even though he said a lot of people still were doing it and in it and everything's fine, he says, hey, I don't want to do anything that's involved with crypto and MLM. MLM by itself, thumbs up. MLM and crypto, thumbs down. That was his simple explanation, really. So that's his, but he's a lawyer. So he was straight up. If you missed that, search the channel for Debtbox Node SEC. It'll show up. So you can find out more. That's when they first did it a month ago or earlier this month. So like 3 weeks ago, I did a video and I went over the case, the TRO, and there's a link under that video so you can pull up the TRO yourself. Don't have to take our words for it. You can go read all of it. And there's more than just what we said in there. It's pretty damning what they're alleging. And all they need is one of the things that they're alleging, and Debtbox is over. And I think they are going to be able to prove more than one thing, actually. Because we are an XPLR. I have video where Travis Flaherty, Jason Anderson was saying, we're going to have in the first quarter, we're going to launch a satellite. Okay. First quarter, in case anybody doesn't understand, the year is divided by 4. So it's the first 3 months. The second quarter is the next 3. So January, February, March. Then we got April, May, June. The TRO is July 28th. So as of the second quarter and a month almost, no satellite launched. No mention of a satellite. No satellite where they're actually showing who's manufacturing the satellite, where the satellite is housed. Nothing about this product, which is one of the problems I'm having with Miracle Cash and more. I say, you guys tell me you have these 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 products. POS system, I can order. ATM machine, I can order. I can also go over to Cyprus, open up a store, get a business license, and do the same thing with crypto that you're doing. Hell, in all of Europe, it's a store. It's not a proprietary you only. Every country has crypto stores. We can all do that. But that's not where the money making's from. Money making is from when you say you have an exchange, fine. When you have a store, what is the store for? And these guys get upset when I ask, what is the store for? How come you have 4 stores, 5 stores? How come you don't have a walkthrough of the store on any video? Because that doesn't make any sense. So I don't understand what you do at a store. You guys have heard me talk about this before. I said, I don't understand why you even have a huge store, because all I'm going to do is have money in fiat. I go up to your counter and say, hey, I'm not familiar with crypto. And by the way, I can't do it online or anything. So I can get with that. Here's my $500 or $1,000 or $5,000. And I want to buy USDT or Ethereum or Bitcoin and send it to this wallet. Okay, that's a transaction fee. Okay, it might be whatever, $20, $50, $100, $200. I don't know. After I do that transaction and I have the money online in Bitcoin, okay, now I move it around to what I want to do, I guess. I don't know. But what does Miracle Cash and More have to do with it after the customer puts his money into Bitcoin? As far as I know, the stores don't do anything else. So my thinking was, you have a store, so then it's like a bank. So that means I'm going to have my crypto ATM machine there. So that makes sense. But again, kind of makes sense, I guess. And then I'm like, okay, so once we do those two things, are we going to have the guys that do that real estate insurance for the landlord? Is that where their offices are going to be? Because that would make more sense to have landlords come in and say, I want to sign up for that rental agreement where, you know, I can take 12 months in advance, or I'm pretty sure if there will be a fee or whatever, there, you know, that's fine. I get a fee for the 12 months in advance. Great. I share that. That's part of our profit picture. So I was thinking maybe that's what they're going to have there, but they haven't talked about that. I'm thinking, hold on, you have that miracle lending program where you're charging like 5, 6, 7, 8% for miracle lending, and people can pay you back later. That's what Vodafone kind of, I thought, might do with their cell phone buyers when they come in for cell phones. Hey, we have this new company. They charge like 1% or whatever their fee was going to be. But they're going to be at Vodafone. They're not going to be at Miracle Cash. But I figured people would go in to get loans at Miracle Cash at the store. That's the way I envision these stores going, because that's their products. Point of sale systems. I'm also thinking you can use your store because you can have office space there. And now you can have your team going around the city trying to get point of sale systems intact in grocery stores and businesses and wherever you can get them in that can do crypto and fiat. I thought that might be a thing. But some of these stores have been open for months. They don't seem to have any video footage or showing any activity in these stores other than somebody walking up to a counter. So I don't know what these stores are doing, nor do I know what is going on with the whole operation. I got bad news with that as well. I mean, it's not bad news. It's just that I'm like, I thought these things were worth $1 billion, these NFTs in the country, rather, the country, $1 billion. NFTs worth 700,000, 700, 800,000, allegedly by a professor in Turkey. And then they told us, hey, we are going to go to Ernst & Young. Well, then on a live stream 2 weeks ago, maybe 3, they announced that, congratulations, everybody. We have Ernst & Young has said that they're worth the same that the professor said, which I'm like, okay, that's weird because you don't have anything in place. 4 or 5 stores and no revenues. I mean, like, what are we talking about here, apparently? So there has not been one announcement to the general public, meaning a press release or anything flashing on boogiegopherclub.com website or cashflownft.com website, the proof of the certificate or proof that it's worth this $1 billion, the country that you're in, you know, the 2 billion, the 3 billion, the 1 point something billion, 3 different countries. If you hold an NFT and then it breaks down to roughly 700,000 or 600,000, whatever the case may be per NFT. But if Ernst & Young actually said that, you best believe every company on the planet would be showing, hey, man, see, our country NFTs are worth $3 billion, 3.1, 3.7, 1.7. You would be posting that up all over the place because you would be getting in more people. So that brings a red flag to my face. They're waving it like red flag because I'm like, you're not going to announce that, but yet you were announcing that BS professor stuff. But you're not going to announce Ernst & Young. and show their information. So that tends for me to believe that Ernst & Young really may not have said billions of dollars. One day we'll find out, but they haven't been forthcoming. So the fact they haven't been forthcoming, which you could use for marketing purposes, and every person that wanted to promote Cashflow NFT or Boogie Gopher Club or Miracle Cash and more, they would be having that certificate in their booklets, on their phones. They would have it splashed all over. Look, Ernst & Young says the UK NFT country is worth 3.15 or whatever the number was. You would have that plastered all over because people be like, look, man, it really is. This is really a thing. So anyhow, smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. It's a crypto world out here, but you're going to have to go with the government's version. You're going to have to go with the big corporation versions. That's a little safer, licensed, regulated for what it's worth. But is it going to be safer in the long run? We're going to find out. But unfortunately, we are going to have a learning curve. All right, we're going to throw down a little bit of break, but smash the like button, please. If you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. If you can't get in the chat room tonight, there's a reason. Only members with the icon can be in the chat room. And creating wealth in the new economy means you're going to have to understand the nuances of crypto, finance, in all phases. Real estate is easy, yes. Even investing in the stock market is easy, yes. But you're going to need another lever in order to survive over the next 20 years, the next lifetime. So you're going to have to learn right now, ladies and gentlemen. So let's see. I'm going to throw down a little promo. And this promo will be, let's go here. This might be the same.
Come on, come on.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here this evening. I'm going to wrap this up a little bit earlier, but on Monday night, Ariam Kaye came in and he mentioned something about real estate or downtown projects. And I could have sworn I'm going to have to go do, well, I wasn't able to use my computer that much over the last 2 days because I was trying to figure out what to do and get some chargers, which seems very hard. But what I'm going to say is he mentioned the projects downtown. And I think Jaway J might have mentioned one too. I thought it was called Single One, but I guess it wasn't because I looked up Single One and I couldn't find anything called Single One. So maybe somebody knows about the real estate project downtown, because again, when we start talking about offshore, we are here talking about Dominican Republic. The reason why we talk about Dominican Republic is because they are associated with the United States as far as properties are deeded. That's what I mean. It's deeded property in the Dominican Republic, and they have incentives because if you buy anything $160,000 or less, which would be your first property, then you're not going to pay any tax, real estate tax. If it's over that, let's say 200,000, then you're 40,000 that you're over between 200 and 160 is 40 grand. Then you're going to owe $400 a year because that's going to be 1%. All right. That's how it works. Now, if you have Comfort Tour, if the project has Comfort Tour, or shall I do it this way? I'll do it this way. If the project does not have Comfort Tour, then you have to pay a 3% transaction fee when you transfer the property. So now, regardless of how much you buy it for, let's say 100,000, you're going to have $3,000 transfer tax. Transaction fee, transfer tax is what I call it. Therefore, Comfort Tour kind of matters. You would save 3%. I'm just saying. But Comfort Tour will not matter because the 160 and under, no matter who buys, you still get no tax. And it's not transferable, by the way, the Comfort Tour. Because Comfort Tour is 15 years, no tax. So that's one of those deals. All right. So I'm also going to do something else. Because creating financial freedom, ladies and gentlemen, is going to mean you're going to have to learn new things. This is interesting. All right. Hold on a second. Oh, I see what happened. Huh. I was going to go to Boogie Gopher Club since I was talking about it. But back to the situation at hand. Was it single one that Ariam Kaye was saying? Or was there some other new project downtown? Now, I can't find it. Which, again, I saw some new projects. And I'm just going to say it again. If you're going to do real estate, pre-construction, or buy real estate anyhow, if you're going to get a real estate in any place, please consider amenities. Please consider more than a pool and a fitness center and a beach. All right. Please tell me, you got to have swim up bars. You got to have restaurants or something, spa. You got to have some auxiliary, casino, something, nightclubs, something. You got to have some other amenities, some other things people can do, golf courses. I don't care. There's got to be something, right? So that should be a staple of your real estate investing if you're doing short-term rentals or you're trying to do long-term rentals or you're looking at an investment and you're going to live there. No matter what, just make sure because people are going to be benefiting and are benefiting from Vista Kana. Vista Kana is the one that has a lot of units there now, whether they're townhomes, whether they're villas, whether they're condos. They have a lot already in place. People are living there. So it's looking beautiful. A villa has generally doubled in price. What somebody could get for $150, they're now in the 300,000s. They've doubled in price with an upside. So this is why having a place inside a location that has amenities, it matters. So when they have these downtown, Central Park, not Central Park, I can't remember the name of the other one. They created somewhat of a Central Park, which is relatively new. I kind of like it, but again, without amenities, I'm not all happy about it. Just because you have a park, a square, shops underneath, there's going to be shops all over Punta Cana. So the shops underneath is extra nice, but that's all they have generally. It's not like there's other amenities there. So the shops are the amenities, which is nice. But walking around and a walking trail and a pet park, kids playground area, a pool, fitness room, I mean, okay. But the other attraction is it's downtown. So now there are amenities downtown that people will like. So that makes it worthwhile to buy. So you get to compound the amenities from downtown plus the little limited amenities you have in your complex, which means the complex is going to cost less to get in, but you're still going to win because it's going to appreciate. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this up tonight. If you have anything else you want to say, please say it now. Everybody who's watching this on replay, make sure you go over to beachfrontjava.com and put in SSN Lifestyle. So that way, after your first order, and if you live in America, you get your free shipping. After that first order, your next order will be 10% off for life. That's right. Get it while you can, because there's no guarantee that a month from now or 5 months or 7 months that this same offer will be available. And there's going to be people right now getting 10% off 9, 10 months, 2 years from now. And they'll be saying, yes, I got my 10% off. And you'll be in here in the chat room and you're going, why did you get 10% off? Because a year and a half ago, they said, put in that promo code SSN Lifestyle. So that way you can get 10% off for life. All right. It's that simple. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see what else. If you have anything else to say, let it be known now. Don't stay hiding out. All right. Now, you guys know how this goes, but I do have to say this part. I love you guys very much. I thank you so much for your support. Over 5 years, we've been pumping this out. Now we're going to have to go to the next level, right? Because SSN Lifestyle has been dormant. Speaking of SSN Lifestyle, there's been a few changes because the way the airline industry has changed, the way a few things that I wanted to offer there has changed. We have to revamp a little bit. So there will be some newness coming out, new website, new changes. It has to be better. We're trying to chase that greatness. We're going to make it better for you guys because, again, we failed on several fronts. Ring of Fire went into crypto, one of those spaces that still hasn't been defined. It looks like we took an L. Well, that box isn't L yet, but that's on life support. Miracle Cash is not doing what they said in my book, because you guys remember that commercial where, in year 1, we're going to do this. In year 2, we're going to do that. In year 3, I'm like, dudes, it's year 1 almost going to go fly by. In fact, I don't know when you're counting year 1. Quite frankly, year 1 should have started last year. This should have been year 2, but we'll count this year as year 1. But here it is, August. It's about to be September in about, what is that, 9 days, 8 days? So this year's ticking by fast. So once again, this is something that you're going to have to start paying attention to, solidifying what you're going to be able to do in the future financially. And you're going to have to set it up now, because once it's under lockdown, where you're going to be limited to what you can do and move money, once you are not autonomous with regard to moving your money, and the government can say, you know what, we're going to block that send or block that receive, it's going to happen, because the government needs your money. Remember, the government doesn't really make money. They're an enterprise. You are the enterprise through your taxes, through the sales taxes, through the property taxes, through the taxes out of your check. You are the commodity. All right. But less and less people are playing in their field of getting W-2 checks. More and more people have businesses, so they get tax write-offs, just like the big boys. And then if you go even one step further with the big boys and have your offshore company, you guys heard that little thump? That was my charger. It was on sitting up nicely charging, and I just bumped it. So my computer's not going to shut off, but it'll shut off in 20, 30 minutes. So it's a good thing that we're probably going to be ending this shortly. But again, you guys come back on Friday night, please. It'll be 9-10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That'd be greatly appreciated. And then in the meantime, learn some more about ISO 2022. Also learn some more about AI, and learn some more about computing apps and ways that you may be able to turn it into money making for you. A lot of people are going to be looking for the angles, looking for things to do. You should be one of them, because you would be in the forefront, along with electric vehicles, along with anything EV, anything that's going to be clean energy. You're going to have to start learning about some of the possibilities and possibly being involved one way or another. Now, everybody should be in real estate. Everybody should be in the stock market. All right. There's a huge reason why. The wealthy are all in. That's where you should be. Wealthy going to be in AI. That's where you should be. Wealthy going to be into crypto with the ISO 20022. That's where you should start looking. Any investments they're making, you start looking at their investments. You start thinking that's what's coming down in the future. You don't have to be left behind. You're not going to be left behind as long as I'm breathing. So let's go make it happen, ladies and gentlemen. And just remember, always stay out of trouble out here, because Vanessa Comegate mentioned it. There's people ransacking stores, running through. And in some instances, things have happened and turned out bad. So watch your background, watch your 12, watch your 3, watch your sixes, watch your back when you're out here in this public, in these streets, and it doesn't matter where you think you live. It does not matter at this point. Just make sure you're safe, all right? And I'll see you on Friday night. And with all that said, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.